So I just got back from Las Vegas, and yes, it is in the middle of a crazy pandemic. Kind of on the tail end, I hope, of everything. But I went to a workshop. Today, I want to share with you what I took from the workshop. So it's like free education. I paid a whole lot of money to go, and you get to hear all the best parts that I took away from it. What's up, guys? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sam Marvin, and I have been in the photography industry for 25 plus years. While I love being a creative, business is my passion, and elevating the industry of photography is my focus. I created the 7-Figure Photographer to share my journey to 7 figures and to help others find their way too. So Fusion the Workshop is a workshop put on by Jen Lewis, a friend of mine who I met a couple years ago. I can't even remember what source, but I know last year we got a chance at Sync to sit down and have dinner together and talk a little bit more about photography and our different businesses. And video is something that they're getting to, and so they hosted a workshop down in Las Vegas, basically focused on business, lighting, and video, and how to add video into your business as a senior portrait photographer. Now, for those of you who know me, we've been doing video for 10 plus years, and so it was kind of it was a really cool, different take and different look at it. And I even got a chance to learn quite a few things. And today I want to share with you those 10 things that I took away from the workshop. First and foremost, I want to talk about the one thing that I was like, I don't know how I missed this, guys. I've shot with off-camera flash for a lot of years. I've never proclaimed to be good at it. I wouldn't try to teach a soul how to do it other than how to sync the camera, turn on the light, and click the button and make a flash. I would be terrified to teach anybody about that. But honestly, I was hoping that if anything, Mia would catch some fabulous wisdom so that it would be easier for us to work together on how to light things, and that there would be something that she would glean from the situation to know, where do I need to be? Like, so Sam doesn't have to tell me up, down, left, right, over. Like, how can we just have that moment where I just look at her and she knows? So one of the first things, who taught it? I'm going to go with Jason. Jason was one of the instructors, as well as Garen and Jen. But Jason was the first one that I got to hang out with, and he taught us the concept of the lighting stick. Now, it's hard for me to do this on camera here, but basically the idea is pose your model and then take the arm across the body and across the nose and point wherever the nose is pointing. Basically match like this, match the pointer finger to the nose. That's where you want your light to be. I saw that, I was kind of intrigued. I was like, oh, I don't know, I've never thought of it that way, but that's a great way to look at it. And I was hoping, I didn't want to point it out to Mia, but I was hoping that she would notice it. And sure enough, at the end of the day, I asked her about it and she got the same thing from it. Now, they called this the lighting stick. I think the concept is that if you took like a stick and attached it to their nose, you put the light wherever their nose goes. So great concept. Like, this is terrible, I'm even telling you guys this, but I've told you forever, I'm proof a mediocre photographer can make a lot of money in the industry. It's not because of the quality of my work. It might be partially because of my work, but most of it is just my business and sales. So that's number one, the lighting stick. Number two, ditch the pictures. Now, a couple of different things I'm going to go through about video. Now, Garen was a great instructor. The first night we were there, he talked about video and all these different things, the what to do, what not to do. I got to tell you guys, I told you we've been doing video for 10 years. I had a lot of items on his what not to do list. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean anything because we do an incredible job at selling our videos, but there was a bunch of things on there and he had a lot of great points. One of them was ditch the pictures. Okay, when I first came up with the idea of filming seniors, in my mind, I'm not saying I'm the first one that ever did it. I wanted to show people that concept because I loved the concept of seeing video. I liked the video of seeing it, but then I wanted to see the picture that was produced from the video. So consequently, from day one, we've always put still images into our videos. The idea is great. I think that it's cool, but I really liked what Garen talked about with it. And I think that it really does make the video more about the video instead of kind of, as he called it, like a stop or a pause, wait for it kind of concept. So that was number two, ditch the pictures. Number three, and this is actually something that I wanted to implement a couple years ago. I kind of tried it. I didn't try very hard. I didn't do a good job of taking my own advice and continue to do hard things. But the concept was just give time for video. Now, one of the things that Garen talked about was he actually does an add-on or sells the video only to the people that purchase it. Now, we personally sell our videos. We film every one of our sessions. I have a lot of reasons why I do it. There's no question that the way we do it is working incredibly well. We sell to like 99% of our customers. So there's no question it's doing well. Biggest reason I do it is because I want to have enough work for Yin, my video guy, to do. Otherwise, if I was just bringing in a photographer or a videographer every now and then to shoot videos, I may not be a priority. But one of the things he said was he adds an extra hour to a shoot for the purpose of basically shooting just video. I saw in so many times where we were revealing the video to our clients, times where I saw little clips of video where I was like, holy crap, that's an incredible shot. Why didn't I think to get that as the photographer? Well, the reason is because I'm always the focus. I'm always the one that the client is paying attention to. And so naturally, they're getting these good candid shots because they're not the one controlling things. And so one thing we talked about is we are going to change up our system a little bit. And actually, I'm going to try to shoot less because I'm an overshooter. I am trigger happy to hell. Like, it's crazy. I shoot way too many pictures. Just because I'm excited, like it's good. I want to take more pictures. So we're going to focus on taking time for me to shoot and then for me to back up, and Yin will continue to shoot beside me, but then we will flip flop and Yin will take control of the client or the senior and video do his storytelling stuff while I shoot candids from the side. So I will have an opportunity to get those cool candid shots on the side. So this was a great thing, huge inspiration brought on because of Garen in this workshop. So it's great. Number 4, always have something for your client to buy. Now, Jen was talking about this in her business class on the last day, and she actually mentioned something about having something in the bathroom. Now, this is great because I think about just stores in general. They always have something everywhere you go with purpose for what to purchase. Now, we do this already. We have hair and makeup, and we have these really nice mink lashes that are great for clients. We sell them for $25 a pop. We get a lot of clients that buy them. In fact, our hair and makeup artists actually they're in charge of selling the lashes. But it occurred to me when she said this, always have something to sell. Duh. Like, why don't we have more options, more things for people to buy? Now, my psychology behind it, my clients already spend a lot of money, and I don't want to nickel them, dime them, but that's dumb. It's not my choice to decide how much my client gets to or wants to purchase. And so I'm going to take that opportunity to find other additional items for people to be able to purchase in my studio, whether it be in the bathroom, whether it be, just accessories to add a bracelet or popular things that are popular. I mean, why not add a little bit of extra money to your bottom line just by having things to sell? So that was a great tip. Number 5, I've struggled with this one for a long time. We've had an incredible model program. In fact, this year we actually decided we were going to change our model program over to an influencer program, much like what Jen does. But the one thing that really inspired me, or that Jen talked about that was really just made so much sense to me, I've struggled with how do we add underclassmen? What do we do with them? How do we get them in? Because you think about it, if we can get them in and get them brand loyal in the early years, then it just makes our job easier. We're already doing the work way ahead of time, so we don't have to have this big push early in the spring or February. Jen talked about this a little bit in depth, and I loved the concept. But what I learned from it is have that option for people to buy. Now, obviously, we have to have a hard line for when our models come in, our influencers for the senior year, but we can always have it open and always have the opportunity to have a spot for when we have moms or kids that are like, oh, I can't wait till I'm a senior, or I can't wait for my year. Well, guess what? We have the opportunity now where you can buy in and be a model and partake of all those events or some of those events and be able to have fun with us and get to know us more, so that they're more driven. I've worked with a lot of girls in our experience that we've gotten to know a little bit early, and they've come in and they've gotten to know us a little bit more. And so when their senior year comes, in fact, I have one coming up this year, and she's just like super excited about it. Like, she would do anything and everything for us just because she's so excited about being a model this year. And I think that makes total sense. So what a great point. Moving on to number 6. This one, unless you were there, you won't get this as much, but you can't always control the weather. We went out to the El Dorado dry lake beds, and let me tell you, the wind was atrocious. It was freezing cold. Girls' hair was blowing like crazy. We even we got so tired of the wind that we picked up everything and moved an hour across the valley to another dry lake bed, hoping that we wouldn't have as much dust and wind. By the time we got over there, it was like tornado. It was terrible. It was so crazy. We had zero control of the weather. And I think that this is a vital point. The reason I say this is because normally for me, a photographer who's been around for a long time, I would call it quits. Like, I would call the client and say, hey, look, this is just not something I can control. Let's just do it on a better day, right? Okay, the wind slowed down, everything got better, we started shooting again. But guess what? The wind picked up again. And what was cool about it is I took the opportunity with the dust blowing across the lake bed, the sun coming through the back, just this really cool, golden, crazy look in the background that you would never get on a good day. And I took the opportunity to capture an amazing image, one that I was super excited about. I wish I had it here to share with you. Maybe I will share it one of these days when I get it edited. But the point is, the weather is never in your control. Only worry about controlling the things that you can control. Don't worry about trying to control the things or fret or trouble yourself over the things that you can't control. So number 7 is networking. Now, because of the way this event was set up, the networking aspect struggled. We had our classes, we had our time for learning. It was focused on that. The one thing that I realized how important it is, not because they didn't do it well or anything like that, but I realized it was missing, was the networking, the after party, the get together. We were busy till late in the evening, most of the evenings. But I found myself really, really wanting for that networking experience. So I guess not to be a negative by any stretch on this, because the event was great. What I'm saying is I realized how powerful that networking, that hanging out, that getting to talk to people, just getting to meet new people and to have time to reflect on the things that you've learned and how they've helped you. Because one of my favorite questions to ask people is, what was your greatest takeaway from today? I ask my employees all the time. When we were driving out of Vegas, I asked them again and again, what are the things that you took from this? Today, I was asking them the same thing. What are the things you got from this? And that is so important, I think, in the networking aspect, is to be able to just have that time to have a drink, talk about what you learned, what you could do better, and then take it out the next day and learn from those things, or to have that great friend by your side for the next day, or somebody to call when you have a concern, a week later or a month later. And I think that that's so important. Number 8 is Addon Products. Now, I know this is different. I'm not talking about having something to buy, but I'm talking about really how we price things. And, I've been doing it for a long enough time that I understand, like, when things are good, when things are bad. I always wish I could add more seniors. But the reality is we have a really high average. And so that's actually a good thing. Because if I was selling out of everything, or if I had an add-on product, for instance, this year we had a $100 upgrade to add-on sunset sessions so that we could eliminate them. I wanted to get rid of them mostly. But what happened this year was everybody bought them. Like everybody booked it. So what's the lesson to learn from that? Well, the lesson I think is that when you have an add-on product and it sells too much, you're either offering far too good of a value for the money or you're just priced way too low, which is kind of the same thing. So what I'm trying to say is the price is wrong. That was something that came up. Maybe I'm the only one that got anything from it. But you know, all too often I hear this from people and it really frosts my cookies. Oh, well, my area isn't suited for that kind of price point, or nobody will spend that much in my area. Bull, sorry to put it so bluntly. People will buy whatever they value. So if you're selling too much of something and you're struggling because you're selling too much of something, it was a huge eye-opener for me because I realized, holy crap, we sell our video to like 99% of all of our customers. So what does that tell me? I'm not charging enough for it. The value is there. The value is killer. Clearly, we literally sell it to almost every single one of our customers. And honestly, on the back end, we end up probably selling it to close to 100% just because we offer it again later on down the road when people realize, oh, I should have bought that. So when the price is set and you're selling it too much when you didn't really want to necessarily sell out, you might consider that the price is wrong. Number 9, don't tease people for asking questions. This one's kind of a funny one. I was teasing one of the people about asking questions, and then it became kind of like a joking thing. And I fear that sometimes that can hinder people. That same person had a question that they mentioned they wanted to ask me, and I wanted her to ask the question. But when the time came to it, she basically said, I just didn't want to put you out or ask you personal things about your business. I want people to ask me those personal things. Ask me anything. I'll share it because I love this industry and I want to share anything I can with the industry. If you ever have a question, go look on YouTube because I probably have talked about it in some way or form and shared it for free. But my point is, sometimes we can cause people to be afraid to ask questions. That's my own fault. But I learned that because I made the mistake of teasing somebody about it. I'm ashamed of myself for this one, honestly. But don't ever pester or tease somebody because you don't ever want them to not have an opportunity to learn because you were just trying to make everybody laugh. Number 10 and last is when all else fails, use your iPhone. We had a cool opportunity and I was kind of having some serious FOMO, but I'd already put my camera away, didn't I? And Jason and Jen, the two of the educators here at the event, started getting this really cool shot. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want that shot. And so knowing I still had my iPhone and I could sync it up with my pro photos, I took a cool picture and I was blown away. In fact, we'll add the picture in. It's not even retouched. Like, I'm not even going to touch it at all. It's straight out of my iPhone. I was amazed. I think everybody else was kind of shocked by it. Don't ever be afraid to just get the picture, whatever the cost may be. I think the coolest thing about photography is don't be afraid to think outside the box. One of the coolest things I heard Jason constantly saying, and I'm not even sure if it was 100% Jason or who it was. I'm sorry if I'm not giving credit where credit is due. Follow the rules until you learn how to break them the right way. I think that was one of my favorite things I heard this weekend was exactly that. Follow the rules until you learn how to break them the right way. I'm a rule breaker. I've done whole YouTube videos about like get in line, like don't just follow the social norm, don't just follow the rules because you're never going to get outside the box. Those are my 10 things. If you don't have Jason back next year, you're crazy. He was fun. Sadly, I didn't get a chance to work with Garen, the other instructor, too much because he was focused on video, and I had Yin there focusing on video, trying to learn any new quirks or things that he could use in his stuff. So I really only got a chance to work with Jen and Jason. But it was a great workshop. If you guys didn't get a chance to go or if you've never heard about it, check it out. I will actually put a link in the video here to the Fusion Workshop page, which I'm sure Jen will update for next year when they do this again. My biggest point here is don't ever think that you're above learning from any situation, because there's something you can get from anything and everything if you just open your ears and listen and quit being such a hard head and try to learn something from everything. So it was great. Go check it out. If you have any questions, make sure to reach out to Jen Lewis or Garen Cooper or Jason Weaver. Thanks for watching with us, guys, and take care.